obviously know the big news is a settlement in the Dominion defamation suit against Fox News. Now, we should tell you that this is not the only major defamation suit that Fox is facing. This one was held in Delaware. There's another one in New York from what is Votomatic? What did they call?
Smartmatic.
Smartmatic voting machines. They have a similar argument to be made here in terms of defamation. I suppose one could argue, and I don't know, to be honest with you, but that Smartmatic wasn't as mentioned as much as Dominion, although hard to suss that out, and whether that is really relevant. One could say, you can assess the relative value or damages in those two cases. Unclear we're going to get any further with the Smartmatic case than we did with Dominion. Obviously, Fox has to pay a lot of money. They're used to paying out money. They obviously made the calculation. This is the amount of money that we can pay. It's cost of business. They did not have to apologize. They acknowledged that some of what the court found was accurate in that they were inaccurate. There are also other subsidiary cases. The judge appointed a special master to look at the behavior of Fox in the discovery process. Here is Dominion Voting System CEO John Poulos speaking to reporters after the Dominion settled with Fox News.
Fox and Dominion have reached an historic settlement. Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that. Throughout this process, we have sought accountability and believe the evidence brought to light through this case underscores the consequences of spreading lies.
So there are, some consequences, obviously not as interesting for those of us who wanted to see folks like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity have to testify, Pirro and Rupert Murdoch and et cetera, et cetera. However, this is the biggest defamation settlement in the history of defamation settlements. There was a bigger defamation award from a court, and that was, of course, against Alex Jones. Last year for his defaming the Newtown parents of kids who were slain. But this is the biggest defamation settlement on record. That's going to hurt them a little bit. The interesting thing here, and here's a comment from attorneys for Abby Grossberg. She was the producer for, I think it was Pirro and Tucker Carlson, who had information and apparently recordings that were not included in the disclosures and discovery, which I think is going to be an issue for the special master. But she was told to lie, essentially, in discovery and during depositions. This is what she had to say through her attorneys. While we congratulate Dominion on a truly precedent-setting settlement, we cannot help but be reminded how Fox News' penchant for paying out notoriously large settlements to resolve lawsuits exposing its unlawful conduct, whether it's troubling allegations of workplace discrimination and sexual harassment and misconduct, to accusations of spreading malicious lies, have unfortunately to date failed to bring about actual meaningful changes to the network's abhorrent culture of lawlessness. Fortunately, our client, Abby Grossberg, remains committed as ever to obtaining vindication of Fox News' violations of not just her rights, but the rights of others whose voices have been silenced, who fear retribution for exposing the truth through her 2 lawsuits against Fox. Our firm will continue to zealously advocate on her behalf to see to it that she succeeds in bringing about a truly real and meaningful institutional changes at Fox News through every vehicle available to us in our legal system. So there's a bunch of lawsuits that are extant. None that may have the potential to bring this type of money, but some that may actually have more potential to force the issue of the case. Dominion's a business, $760 million or whatever, $790 million. That's a lot of cash. I can't honestly say that if we were suing Fox for defamation, that I wouldn't take $790 million instead of going to trial. Although what I might do is I might take like $350 million to get through most of the trial. I'd probably walk away for even, let's say, I don't know, $3 million. That way I can avoid the 90% top marginal tax rate that I want. I'll just take the $3 million. But as long as I get to see, I want to cross-examine Tucker. That's what I wanted. Also, one other thing to note, and Angelo Carusone, is that his name at head of Media Matters?
Yeah.
Check out his Twitter feed. Maybe you can pull this one up. It was from a couple of days ago, but it explains something that, I've known for some time in terms of like the cable news business. Fox News, not only does it have much wider distribution on cable news companies around the country, not just on the coast, but also in the middle of the country. They got there early, and they also relative to, let's say, MSNBC, much broader clearance is what it's called, because of the fervor of their audience, and because they also attract like people who are not as partisan but want to watch the freak show. They actually not only have more access to more cable companies, they are, I believe, the number 2 most profitable from getting fees from the cable companies to carry them. So some outfits, they don't get any carriage fees whatsoever. In fact, some outfits even pay a little bit to cable companies to carry them. Fox, after ESPN, is number 2, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of getting carriage fees. And according to Carusone, they are looking for a bump on those fees because they've lost a lot of advertising. But they don't make their money through advertising in the same way. They make their money through the carriage fees because people want their product so badly that people, call up and say, like, I'm not even going to get, it's the same with ESPN. Like, if I can't watch live sports, I don't need cable. If I can't watch Fox News, I don't need cable. More people are likely to say that, even if more people watch ABC. And so they get higher carriage fees. At the end of this thread that Carusone has, he mentions a nofoxfee.com website where you can go and tell your cable company, I don't want you to pay Fox's fee. Because understand, if the cable company pays a fee to Fox, a carriage fee, they pass that on to you. So it's bad enough that Fox may be playing, in your local, whatever it is, bar, but you're paying for that, whether you want to or not. So worth a visit there.